Today we have with us Mr. Shanmugham Nagarajan, the co-founder and the Chief People Officer of 24/7 AI. Welcome, sir. I am
Thank
Jananii
you.
Govindaraj, doing my BCom honors at Christ deemed to be University, and today with me I have my classmates Benita Priyadarshini and Junitta Stephen. 24/7 AI is a customer experience software and services company based in California that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to understand consumer intent. 24/7 AI was also listed on Forbes' list of America's most promising companies in 2013. Mr. Nagarajan is a recipient of the IT People Leadership Award by NDTV and DNA Magazine. Mr. Shanmugham Nagarajan has also co-founded Business Evolution, an integrated customer interaction technology company, before co-founding 24/7 in 2000. He has served on several leadership committees like the NASSCOM's Executive Committee and is a frequently invited guest speaker to many leading business schools around the world. Recently, he has been awarded as the Distinguished Alumnus of the PSG College of Technology.
Good evening, sir. I'll be starting with the questions.
Sure, Benita.
I'm Benita. Okay, so in a generation where career options were very, very limited, and entrepreneurship, especially being one of the non-favored career options, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
I'm basically, how do I put it, a free mind, I would say. I liked working for others, but I would like working for myself better. That's what I would say. Also, there was a time when I grew up, right? I've seen people suffer for jobs. Basically, there was not enough jobs when I grew up, right?
Yeah.
You guys weren't even born by then, I guess. But we've seen movies, very impressionable movies about poverty and joblessness in the country and all that, right? So very deeply embedded in our minds, in our generation, that jobs are very important. You hold on to it, right? When I even chose my first job opportunity, I made sure I chose, even though it was the lowest paying job, I chose what I wanted for my long-term career. So as against 5 offers I had on hand when I came out of the college, I chose TCS because I wanted to learn world trade. I wanted to learn how to work in other countries. I wanted to learn how large enterprises work, right? But out of the 5 offers I had on hand, TCS was the least offer by 1/3 actually.
Okay.
So by 2/3. So I had 1,800 rupees as my monthly salary, and I had offers for 6,000 plus, right? But I chose this one because I felt I wanted to learn, set my foundation well, and then start off my own business. So 2 things. One is joblessness in those days made me think that I should create jobs. Number 2, I chose the right career so that I could learn the foundation I wanted, right? Of course, my father was an influence as well, because he's a first-time entrepreneur himself, and I'm second-generation entrepreneur, right? Even though I studied as much as I wanted to, my heart was always in entrepreneurship, starting my own company.
Yes, sir. That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
The next question, sir. There are a few instances which stand out in every individual's life, and they turn out to be the stepping stones of success. What is the single most important reason for your success?
It's not that easy to say one instance, but there are multiple instances. While I was doing my basic degree, like you guys are in, I was in second year in Loyola College doing my BSc statistics. I came across in my friend's home, when I went to my friend's home, I came across this gadget. It was like the same size of an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
It was lying on the table. My friend was saying, hey, I don't know what it is, Nags, my uncle from Germany has sent it to me. I don't even understand because the manual is all in German. No Google those days, right, to translate. So he said, I don't know what it is. It is some kind of a gadget he has presented to me. It's all in German. I don't know what to do with it. So I was just playing around with the buttons and the keys on the gadget. In a few minutes, I could crack it. It was a all-in-one, like a contact list, contact list, as well as a calculator, as well as a diary, calendar, all that put together in one gadget, right? So like Casio, but olden days, right? So I told him, hey, this is how it works. See this. He said, wow, man, I've been fighting with this for a long time, and I couldn't understand what this is. And you just cracked it in a few minutes. You seem to have a penchant for computers. I said, what is computers? This was early 80s, right? So I'm dating myself here. What is computer? He said, no, this is a new field that's coming up. These are large machines that, calculate things fast, and that's going to change the future. So you should really seriously look at a career in software, computer engineering. So till then I was thinking I was going to become an IAS officer, right? My passion was either an IAS officer or do an MBA and get into business. So I said, okay, let me check out what these computers are, and I did some studies and found out that there's a course called MCA for people who missed out on engineering, right? So that was a turning point actually for me to enter into software, because software is my field. But once I started learning programming, even in the second year college, I said, no, let me understand what it is. I started learning computers on the side. Love at first bite, right? Basically every bit of the challenge I loved. And then no looking back, that became my passion, and fortunate enough to have that as my profession as well, right? So from BSc statistics, I was looking out to see what can I do, and MCA was an option. Applied for MCA at PhD Tech and entered. Rest is history. That was a turning point. And my friend pointed out that I had a little bit of processing power in my CPU to understand what computers are. Right? That was the first turning point. Second, of course, is meeting my co-founder and friend in the first job, TCS, right? Even those days, he is also from a small entrepreneur's family. So he was also thinking of the same thing. We were of the same mind, saying, hey, we have to start our own company sometime in the future. So that also was another turning point. Right? So
that was really nice. So thank you for your answer.
Welcome, Ma.
So, the deadlines and the sheer number of assignments alone makes us sweat under pressure. So how do you continue to maintain such a positive outlook and a cool attitude while facing risky situations and obstacles?
Are you asking about project management or about positive attitude? What is your question about?
Both, sir.
Okay. So just like in life, in business as well, there are going to be a lot of unforeseen turns and ups and downs, right? So if you plan your projects well, if you plan your strategies well, and then projects well, follow through with right execution, you would be able to minimize the surprises, right? So let me give you an example. If you have a project to deliver for your client, as you just said, right? Instead of just drawing a set of actions and the owners and just the dates for each tasks and drawing the dependencies. I don't know if you guys did project management, CPM plot and all that yet. If you do that, it will be very interesting. So instead of just doing a project plan like that, you add a few more elements to say, okay, hey, what can go wrong in this step? Basically, what are the risks involved in each of your steps? And for those risks, what are the mitigation elements you need to build into those tasks, right? So we call this pre-mortem. Have you heard of the term post-mortem?
Yes.
When somebody's gone, then you do post-mortem, right? But even before you risk a project's success, you do pre-mortem for the project to say, what can go wrong? Go list all the things that can go wrong. Assume the worst case scenarios in each of the tasks, right? And then go and note down mitigation plans for each of those risks, so that your chances of failing in each task is reduced to a minimum, right? I'm just getting into the nitty-gritties, right? But you get what I mean, right? So plan properly, then you won't fail that easily, right? So then if you plan properly, and if you have all the points covered from all the angles, from everybody's angles, that is, you don't sweat. You're very comfortable, right?
Yeah. So 24/7 has gone through so many changes, and it has also overcome many obstacles in the last 2 decades to reach such a high position that it has acquired today. So how is running a successful business different than what you thought it would be? So you would have had some expectations about this is how my business is going to be, and how did it turn out to be?
Well, as a entrepreneur jumping into business, right? Not just this is a second company, right? First company as well. First company taught me a lot more than the second company, I would say, because that taught me that failure is going to be part of building a company, right? So first company was a product company as well, where we released one product every year, and because every product used to fail, keep failing, but not give up, move on, persevere, right? And just not giving up the grit that is needed. That was taught by my first company, getting into the second company. So the first company, getting into the first company, I thought it would be just a breeze, right? Now, hey, young and bold, just jumped into it and said, no, hey, let's go start a company, right? So then going and selling was a big deal. Going and building the product was a big deal. Building the product for the right need of the market was a big deal, right? So we had to figure out things on the way, right? So getting into it, we were like totally thinking it was all going to be a bed of roses. Of course, it was not, right? Not to be. We almost lost our shirts, the first company, right? But we managed to persevere, and our perseverance helped to succeed finally. So second company, we knew going into second company, we knew it was not going to be all roses on the bed, right? So we planned better this time.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
All right, so I am Junita, and we'll be moving into the next set of questions. I've got two questions, and before we could move in, I'd just like to say that so far I've been spellbound by whatever you've delivered so far. So, from my side, the first question that I'd like to ask is: in the recent times, there are several entrepreneurial trends that the budding entrepreneurs have looked up to for inspiration. What is that one popular entrepreneurial advice that you disagree with?
Serial entrepreneurship is celebrated. I'm not a big fan of serial entrepreneurship because
So why is that?
I feel there is so much value one can bring out by sticking to a good idea. First of all, starting the company in the right industry of choice, and coming up with products or services in that field, that industry, and building that opportunity to a larger scale as much as possible, even if it is medium-sized companies, small-sized companies also. Okay, that in my mind is better to do that, and then continue to do that in the long run, for the long haul, rather than just flipping it and going to the next one, going to the next one, and being a serial entrepreneur, right? So that's a myopic short-term viewpoint, because they look at the short-term money they get, then move on, right? But if they build the company for the long haul, the value would be much more, much better, much higher. And you are producing not only value for yourself, but also for everybody else who's part of the ecosystem, right? All the stakeholders involved, right? From the clients, the investors, the employees, the colleagues, right? All of them would benefit if it is for the long haul rather than for the short haul of quick profits and flipping up and down.
Yes, sir, got it. Thank you so much for that answer. So the next question is, in all our lives, we generally crave for that Control Z option where we could probably redo or undo certain things or relive some parts of our lives. If you have to look back into your past, what is that one thing that you wish that you could have done differently?
I'm actually writing a book called The Book of Mistakes, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
you can't do it with one Control Z. You need a bunch of Control Zs, right? I'm just kidding about the book, okay? So you're saying you need, every day you make mistakes. Only from there you learn, right? So even today we make mistakes. So there's no one mistake, I would say, Junita. It's like a bunch of mistakes.
Is there
Sorry,
anything that something that you recollect and you would have wanted to do differently?
God. No, I have a lot of things that I wouldn't, repeat doing, and equally number of things that I would definitely do it the same way, right?
Okay.
So I don't have one answer for that. I'm not able to pop up one. Sorry about that.
That's okay, sir. I mean, we totally understand. We all make mistakes, and there are innumerable mistakes that we make. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, sir, I think with that, we've come to the end of the number of questions that we are allowed to ask. Given a chance, I think we would have spent a lot more time asking about you and your experience because it is truly enlightening. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for this interview. And it was indeed like a delightful opportunity for us to listen to you and gain an insight on the real world experiences. And also, thank you so much for sharing light on the important instances of your journey on being an entrepreneur. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
Thank
All
you
the
so
best.
much, sir.
Do well. And one thing I want to leave you with, I'm sure all your viewers also with, is choose your first job wisely, and do not just get attracted by the salary alone, right?
Yes.
Choose the right
Yes, sir.
job, choose the right industry first. Then within that industry, choose the right job of your passion. If you're passionate about what you do, you'll be happy. If you are happy, you'll do it well. Automatically, you'll grow. Money will come automatically. Money will follow. Don't do anything without passion because that's short term, right? So
Yes,
join
sir.
the right industry, right company, irrespective of the first salary, and stick to that company because you would have made a good choice because of the research you would have done. Stick to that company for at least 3 to 5 years. The first company is a very important foundation milestone for you guys. So stick to the first job 3 to 5 years and lay the foundation very strongly, and then look at other jobs. Right. So don't give up easily on the first company you join. But for doing that, you need to choose the right company in the right industry. All right. All the best.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much, sir.
Bye bye. Thanks.
Bye bye.